Hello, my precious wandering souls. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Last episode, we started the second trial? The second trial, yeah. We had a little intermission, and now we have to cross-examine Mr. Furio Tigre. I'm not sure if this is the last trial or if we have another day. I think this is the last trial. So yeah, let's see how we do. Okay, January 8th, 1:21 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? Yeah. He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's the line that the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need.
Hey, Paul!
As soon as I see the pal, I know it's Gumshoe. Detective Gumshoe! What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end.
Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Topknot.
It's not a top knot! Never mind about the hair. Just calm down, alright?
I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kinda get wound up. Ah!
No kidding.
You're gonna have something to need me to do, pal. Anything.
Actually, yeah, I do. Well,
Hey, I'm gonna take a job back down to the prison. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour.
Oh, wait. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. We gotta stall. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour?
You bet!
In that case, would you mind checking the prints for this for me? Oh, right, this thing.
Take that!
If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this?
Oh hey! That's the Lmao bottle I gave back to you this morning, right?
Yeah, I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to.
Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too.
Okay, small welcome to Detective Gumshoe.
Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back.
We need to stall. Got it. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. So it's the last trial, I see. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. Okay. So, January 8th, 1:56 p.m., District Court, courtroom number 4. Court with now reconvened. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Tame him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Very well, please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. hide under the table, Maya. Unless there is room for me down there too. Phoenix!
Oh, yeah, would you mind? What did you say to me?
Nothing. I didn't say nothing. Honest. Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent? The judge. Oh, he had an accent. Oh, I didn't get to do that accent.
I got business to take care of. You hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spikey?
No, of course not. It was the judge. Don't be a coward, Mr. Judge. Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Ah, you freaking coward. Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it, we're doomed.
Maybe you didn't hear me. I said who the hell was it that called me in here?
There's no need to shout. We can all hear you.
What you say?
There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hold you in. Tuku! Don't let him get the better of you, Nick! Get out of here! Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct?
Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mass boy.
You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird?
My who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas.
Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then.
Your Honor.
Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder.
Phoenix Wright.
Huh?
You're the one who set this up, didn't you? You're gonna regret the day you ruffled the tigers fur. You hear what I'm saying?
Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Ew! Get a grip, Nick! Get out of there! Okay, the tiger's alibi.
I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from Tenderlander every single day. You just wanna check my alibi? Just ask Violeta.
Oh, at last I found my pen.
Sure.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. You cross-examine. Oh, what is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that.
I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins.
I mean, he's not wrong, but... The lowlife? Me?
Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000. And if you're gonna borrow I'm just gonna borrow the cash from me.
That's one loan contract I refuse to sign.
I don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger.
Huh. I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute. That's really not... This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's head off. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. What?
You better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my boss.
Don't you have a square though? The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. I'm tempted to say if before I start the cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick! Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? Okay. What should I press? I don't know nothing about the murder. I don't know if I should press here. I was tied up in December, spent my time in my office. Maybe here? Okay. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know? You see this did? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Calaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. That seems like a rather, sketchy schedule. There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing the day of the murder, so now what? Press harder, leave it. Press harder. Mr. Tigre, what you want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
Objection!
This is a dead end, right? And you know it. Remember the rules.
Objection!
No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree, Your Honor. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. December 3rd? Meet with the tiger. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before. I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could please... Mr. Tigre, the court asks you to add this last statement to your testimony. Huh. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. The day you're talking about, I was in the office too. I never saw that kid before. Huh. Funny. Because I have something that proves otherwise.
Objection!
Mr. Tigre, you claimed you didn't know Mr. Glen Elf. But it appears that Mr. Elf knew you. What? Mr. Elf left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date, December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder! So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glen Elk. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Not bad, just actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with you, to see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. That's perjury. Witness, please remember that you're on the road. Lies will not be tolerated. You calling me a liar? Is that what you're doing? What are you, Scooby-Doo? So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm damn serious. Just better believe that's the truth. Huh. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigre. Oh yes, would you mind indulging the court, witness? He never actually met the victim? That's got to be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. Okay, Let's see. The victim, Glen Elk.
I ain't no liar. I never met Glen Elk. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tenderlander.
Ah? But didn't the... Eh?
I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed. I ain't never been to that Trevian joint. Just here?
Found lying in Tenderlander. I think that's it. I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up.
I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments where you're dead.
Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. The bill's going straight to you, right?
Okay, I think I know exactly what to do. Because he said that he had never been to Trevian, but we found something that contradicts that. In my office. Here. I ain't never been to that Trevian joint. Just here. You sure about that?
Objection!
Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches?
Matches? What you talking about?
We found them in your office at Tenderlander. They're from that restaurant.
What?
If you've really never been to Trevian before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk?
You've been snooping around in my stuff too, wise guy. What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me.
Order! Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Sorry, I'm terribly sorry, forgive me!
I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back to what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day.
What?
But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid.
Well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Elk that day. And he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. Okay, another testimony. At Trevian.
I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop's siren on my way out, and I went straight back to my office.
I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express.
Don't worry. I'll make sure you get a nice ride.
Fucker. No more stupid questions.
No problem. Anytime Wright presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. I freaking hate you so much. Mr. Godot, that's my job! Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it! Yes, sir!
Have some guts, Your Honor. The special express ain't cheap, right? just so you know since you're paying. Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? You know it doesn't. Okay. Hold on. I have an idea, but I need to check this first. Okay, alright. I know exactly what to do. There's no way. Aha! Yeah, sure, you saw one ugly scene. Of course!
Objection!
Right. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre? No one escapes the tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. And no one escapes the phoenix's clutches. That one's actually pretty cool. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Wright? A new line of irrelevant questioning. These are the floor plans of the crime scene. Uh-huh. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Aha! Indeed, the witness would have a clear view of the victim's seat. Nope. Isn't that what you said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Nope. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables... Aha! It's a tall partition. There's no way he saw it. Why, that's true. Now, look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. Why? You're getting a little nervous, don't you? So, from the entrance of Tribulations, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day, because you met with him.
Objection!
Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table.
Objection!
But the defense used proof that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glen Elk, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. Uh-huh. That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? I know. You say the killer murdered Glen Elk and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. Well, the killer is Mr. Furio Tigre. Obviously, the killer is Furio Tigre. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness? Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. So I dare you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts? The tiger is not the king of the jungle. That's a lion. Isn't it? You can threaten me, Mr. Tigre. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Phoenix! Mr. Wright! Sounds to me like it must be you, man. You've got guts. I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, do not need me to handle this alone. Huh. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Godot.
Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see just the victim. Oh, no, no, no.
The serving girl brought him a cappuccino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there.
Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains, he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee. Very impressive, Mr. Kudo. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Ha. Found your pen at last, right? It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenelg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright. I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenelg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? Yep. The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? It was Viola Cadaverini.
Take that!
Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tenderlander. You're making a big mistake. Oh, he's getting nervous. Do you know who Violeta's grandfather is? Oh, I'm aware. You better be going home in an armored truck tonight, if you know what I mean. Stop shaking, Nick! Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had a kind of cackling laugh. And we know only one person like that. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table who nobody but Miss Bird seemed to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There is only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And Mr. Furio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you. Witness, what have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? You're alright. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? Just got it all wrapped up nice, alright? But just miss out one real important thing. But that can be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I can't have poisoned him, you hear? What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre? Huh. What a troublemaker. Troublemaker! Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Tribulations between yourself and the victim? Okay. Ties to the victim. Yeah, I loaned out cash, about $100,000. That day, he was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won! $500,000! He got lucky, you know? Real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she done, everything would have been over. Now, I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. L was $50,000. Yeah, well, just got the fee to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know. That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal. And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? I think maybe if I press where he says something like if that waitress hadn't done what she done. Okay, maybe here? The waitress, you mean? The girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't got in the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with. Maybe I should push a little on this. Ask about what Maggie did, ask how things would have been. Ask how things would have been, I guess? Because, like, what she done? Well, poison the coffee, of course. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? I used that there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said. The Tiger's motive, huh? I was after the $100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy. I don't know if I should press or show him something. Wait! Okay. The virus is potentially worth millions of dollars. Maybe this? Oh, I get it. Okay. He wanted this thing because it's worth millions of dollars. And he's in debt with the cadaver Innis for what happened to Viola, so if he had gotten the MC bomber, he not only would he recover the money he loaned to Elk, but he will also be able to pay the Cadaverinis, the debt, his own debt, I mean. I guess it's this?
Objection!
Yeah. Hey. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 from Mr. Elk owed you, correct?
I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right.
Unfortunately for Mr. Elk, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after.
Objection!
What are you getting at, Wright? What else could a moneylender be after other than money? Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disk like this would fetch. What is that? A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber. A computer virus? What does one of those do? A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. A computer? What does one of those do? Your Honor! I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Several $1 million? Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elk had no way to repay the money is crucial. What? Glenn Elk was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elk put up in order to borrow the money.
Objection!
You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get hold of that program. Yep, exactly. The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, right? A man like him could get his hand on $1 million without resorting to murder. Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear. It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? 3 bars. What did Mr. Tigre need money for to the tune of $1 million? He needs to pay for this.
Take that!
In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter, in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital, where she underwent surgery.
How much of this do you know?
A lot. These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to this, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full. $1 million? A preposterous sum! Someone should sue these HMOs! No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright? Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini.
Did you say Cadaverini?
Yep. Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverine demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glen Elk's life to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glen Elk had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I. The lottery win. Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elk won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, not legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. He murdered Glen Elk and then made his next move, to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glen Elk, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection!
Like I said, Wright, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it. Because he wasn't. He was helping them.
Objection!
But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan. Order! Order! Silence and I will... You've put on a good show, Spiky. If you want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, creating a witness and framed someone. If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. Wright? Oh! Oh, I know. Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Wright? Almost half my bar. What was this trick you say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused? He posed as me in court.
Take that!
What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Your Honor, Your Honor, Your Honor. You're such a. I don't even know what to say. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as a victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very courtroom, you posed as me. What? That's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. And somehow you still believe him. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in there, this very court, this very court a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I have ever seen. Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man. Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him?
Hey. Forget about it, yeah?
Oh. I see. You're trying to... he's doing the same thing he does with Viola.
I wouldn't do something like that, not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Objection!
Nope. Have you no pride, sir?
Objection!
This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, right? Here in court, we deal with people's lives. Mr. got always right. Your Honor? Speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it. No! Gumshoe! I need the thing! If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. No, wait! The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. But we've come so far! Gumshoe! Give me back the bottle! You say he impersonated Glenelg. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. What now? Ha! He's back to his confident self. Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get mauled. You got that? All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Ha! Looks like I won't be needing a refill. What now? If I just had one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tigre. Gumshoe! Gumshoe! Oh,
Your Honor, sir! Wait!
Detective! Detective Gumshoe! Thank God.
Sorry I took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's gone in on this too.
What is it, Detective?
Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final, decisive piece of evidence.
What? What? Oh, God. Please, 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 please. January 8th, 2:48 p.m. District Court of the Lobby number 1. Thank you, Gumshoe.
Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab.
The results?
About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle.
Oh, so? Do you know who the prints belong to now?
Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know.
So, tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it.
You bet! Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. They're Furio Tigre's paw prints, alright?
That's great! We've got him out, Nick! Wait. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference who sprints around that bottle now.
Huh? What? Why not?
What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glenelg's coffee.
Oh, yeah.
What now? What now? He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now.
I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use.
No, don't say that. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself.
This was our last chance to help Maggie. And I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time.
How do I make use of this thing?
It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's no breaking news to me, pal.
No. Neutral voice. Oh, Detective Gumshoe? Maggie! You've been working on something for me?
Oh, sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hair now.
Detective Gumshoe, wait! Oh, my doomed ship. He's gone. Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick? I don't know. I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. The victim's serum medicine covered in Furio Tigre's fingerprints. What do I do? January 8th, 3 and 4 p.m. District Court, control number 4. I'm not sure how I'm going to get like something out of this, but Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? I granted you a recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered. Yes, you see, Don't keep us all in suspense, Wright. Show us. Naturally, we can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we? Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste.
How much more of my time am I just gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. But you lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion.
No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright. Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here, but maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit. I see what you're trying to do, Phoenix. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final, decisive piece of evidence to the court. The bottle? I guess. I think I know what Phoenix is trying to do. This is the defense's final piece of evidence. Isn't that the victim's... Your Honor? Naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigre.
What?
I think Otto knows what I'm trying to do. But Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information? Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains. Except one man. one person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. Is it gonna work though?
My prints are on that fancy looking bottle? Is that what you're saying? Well, what the hell's in it anyway?
I mean, a phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Ah, okay. Mr. Tigre, this is a decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains Mr. Armstrong's oils, the victim's tear medicine, potassium cyanide. Right, everyone else knows it's the victim's ear medicine. Everyone except for Furia Tigre. I think... I'm not sure. I'm kind of scared. This bottle contains potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? The poison used to murder Mr. Elk, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that?
You make a good clown, you know that?
What?
You ain't never gonna get this to stick. You're just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger?
Did it not work? A bluff?
I can see through you, straight to you, Phoenix, right? That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it.
No, this is the bottle we found traces of the poison in.
Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown and it was made of glass.
Oh my god, you're so freaking stupid!
That cheap piece of trash. Don't look nothing like it.
Thomas! You stupid idiot! Got him! At last!
What? Why is everyone got quiet? I said that bottle.
Is this the bottle you're referring to?
Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in.
Keep digging your grave, dude.
But you ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go.
You still haven't figured it out.
It's so stupid.
Don't you realize what you just said?
What I said? What did I just say?
You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you should have known all the little details. For instance, you should have known that what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. Just describe the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison.
You don't know who you're messing with. I'm the tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market.
Oh yeah, because saying that in the freaking courtroom is definitely gonna help you, huh?
You think I'm gonna let some jumped up suit get the better of me?
Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all.
Oh, what's going on?
It looks like a blackout.
Ow.
Oh!
Well done, Wright.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you.
Oh.
Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey.
Oh man, he's such a dumbass.
Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godot? He's been arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glenelg, Your Honor. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Pearl was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. Yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Furio Tigre is a truly frightening criminal. Huh. The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there. Godot. Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird, not guilty. Yippee! That is all. This court is adjourned.
Oh my god. Thank goodness. I'm still laughing about that. It's so freaking stupid. January 8th, 4:10 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. Mr. Wright, I am at a loss of words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. It wasn't me. But now I feel like I can forgive him. It wasn't me. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick, in the doorway. Oh, Detective Gumshoe. Oh.
Oh, I guess I'll be heading off then. See you.
Wait. Oh, Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations, Maggie.
Thanks. Oh. Kiss already!
I knew you were innocent all along.
Why didn't you say that in your testimony then? Maggie, he was just doing his job.
Oh, well, I was... Well, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around.
Gumshoe! Wait up, detective! He just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. I mean, kind of. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy. Aww. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Aww. Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maggie's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie, you know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this. I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me. That's why. I thought I might have done it. He thought I might have done it. I've got to prove to her that Kamshu really cares about her. Oh wait, we still have the lunchbox. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. Food!
Take that!
Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom. That's a present from Detective Kamshu, made with a ton of love. He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Kamshu. I actually really like Winnie's, you know? Oh. No, Maya, they're not for you. Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this now? Oh. So, how is it, Maggie? It's really good. Aww. So, the case of phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. Yay. And who knows, maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. There's hope for my ship! Episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout, the end. Aww. It's Brad Ward! Alright. I feel so bad for Kamshu. The guy really tries so hard. Okay. I'm gonna stop recording for now. I hope you liked it. If you did, maybe consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye bye!